Hello everybody, this is Chichi Hero and welcome back to my playthrough of 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Oh boy, in the previous episode, we had an interesting conversation with June, didn't we? I wonder if there's like a reason, like whether thematic or a character reason why she's so into the supernatural and stuff. Certainly an interesting character trait that I wouldn't have really known about in the previous playthrough, because we didn't really get to spend so much time with her. But now it looks like she's the kind of person who really believes into this stuff. And I guess I wonder if it, right. So what she was talking about, right? About the writers being able to guess with a scary degree of accuracy, things that happen with the Titanic and stuff. By the way, very thematically relevant to the fact that we're on the ship. And there are no other like reasonable or rational explanations as to why that's the case. So that's the best environment for something like superstition and paranatural theories to arise. And again, I don't want to discredit that kind of thinking. I personally don't believe in that stuff. It is a way to explain something that we have no theories on. So it does have its place, I guess. It's just very interesting to me because it's not something that I would have ever thought that she would be into, like she did give me like the vibe that she was into astrology and stuff because she knew about the symbols. But yeah, this is a very interesting facet of her character. But anyways, I've rambled on for long enough. What do you say we jump into it? All right, so what do we have here? There are some bottles of seasoning in here. Okay, anything else? Nope. Yeah, this was the oven with a code, and we don't know what the code is. But there's still so much that we have to look at in this place, so we'll see. Frying pan and 2 kinds of pots. Did you see that action movie that came out last week? Nah, I heard it was critically panned. I don't know, it's pretty enjoyable with a little pot. We're back to this, huh? So this is what we're doing. Okay. Oh, damn it. Why is he... Is Junpei like a pothead? Like, in the previous episode, he was talking about, what are you smoking? Sir, you might be the one who's smoking something in here. And now this. I believe this was a reference to, like, weed. Anyways. What was I talking about? This game is making me lose some brain cells. Let's see. This is where we started with the plates and stuff, which I don't think there's anything to solve because they already seem to be stacked in the correct amount. The note was saying in hex. Let's see. Did I examine this? A tank with a pipe coming out of it. Nothing really that special about it. Hey Santa, could you open the door, please? What the hell? There's no way I could open the thing. Guess you're getting to that age where your eyes start to go, huh? You better watch your mouth, boy, or someone won't live long enough to see that door open. See, this is what I was talking about in the previous episode, about how they treat Lotus like she's an old woman, which she isn't, not by any means. But it was kind of like it was and it is kind of like the way of thinking of some cultures and stuff. Japan has a lot of cultural misogyny going on with older women and stuff. Though it's kind of the same all around the world, really. And yeah, the knife joke I made the previous episode. Santa, what if I gave Lotus this, huh? Not so cocky anymore, huh? This has got the 2 of them on edge. We gotta get out of here and fast. Yep, I agree. I don't think we looked at this. A countertop. We've got a rolling pin and a colander. Nothing useful, in other words. Right. A well-kept countertop. Can you cook, Santa? If he was taking care of his sister, I would assume maybe yes. Doesn't seem to be anything useful on it though. Okay. Can we use the rolling pin to smash the card reader? No, don't do that. It's kind of far away. I can't really tell, but is that a ladle? I don't really think a ladle's gonna be very useful. Yeah. There's a light hanging from the ceiling. Light hanging from the ceiling. Same dialogue. Countertop. It's an ordinary ladle. No reason to hang on to it. And this is the exit. Okay, that's the exit. There's a big old iron plate over the door. I don't think we can open it. Yep. It's an iron plate over the exit. I don't think we can open it while it's like that. Jeez. Reading out loud, I tell you. Right. Okay. So this is what we saw in the episode where we came into the kitchen. So, is this not the exit? I was assuming that the one with the card reader was the exit, but apparently not. Okay. Let's see. Damn it, didn't work. It doesn't matter how many times you try it. This door isn't going to open until we've solved all the puzzles in this room. I'm sure this is all just part of Zero's plan. I just can't imagine what his motives could be. It's a card reader. Since the light's red, I figure it's probably still locked. The key card for it's gotta be around here somewhere. We just gotta find it. What about this? This is the door we came in through. It's not locked, so we could go back out, but what's the point, right? All that's out there is an iron gate and a dead-end hallway. Yup. Might as well be locked for all the good going back out there to do. Right. There's a pot on top of the stove. If there are some ingredients around here, I could cook something up for us. You can cook, Lotus, huh? Interesting. Lotus, you can actually cook? Who the hell do you think I am? You'd better believe I know how to boil hot water and put in my instant noodles. Okay. Girl. She's the stereotypical, like, computer kind of person, huh? And I can boil eggs too. Alright. Small victories, I guess. The oven door, it's locked, of course, and we don't have anything. And it's not even gonna let us try, so you know it's something that we're gonna find around here. Okay, I don't think I actually looked at this place in too much depth, so let's look at the trash cans. Trash can. There's nothing inside of it. Well, better than being full of rotten food, I suppose. Yeah? Damn it, there's nothing in here. Hey, Santa, digging through the trash really suits you. Girl! What the hell did you say? Listen, lady, I did you a favor. I knew you'd just piss and moan, so I did it for you. Oh my, I don't recall asking you to do anything. I ought to throttle you. Excuse me. Y'all, we are not making it out of here, huh? Does it feel colder in here? Yeah. Just forget about this, Junpei. Oh, countertop. There's a rolling pin and a colander here. Nothing useful. Yeah, we looked at this from the other angle. Can we look at this? Rolling pin and a colander. Nothing useful. They're lights, buddy. Nothing weird about that. Listen, I gotta re-examine everything. Because how else would I find the funny dialogue, huh? Lights to light up the room. They're doing a good job. What's this? Oh, is this like a grill? Well, it looks like kind of like for kebabs and stuff. Let's see. All right, it's going. Do you think this was all part of Zero's plan? Probably. Kind of hard to believe there's a chef on board somewhere. Yeah, what if we get snacky? I wonder what this drawer is. You see the metal grate on top of the grill? They make it like that so that the fat and juices can drip off of the meat while it cooks. Yep. The drawer seems to be stuck. Probably so greasy. It won't open. Anything here? Looks like the area under the plate opens up. No, you can't. I already checked. It's sealed. It's shit. God damn it. It's sealed shut. Thank you. Good godness. I cannot English as of late. I think that's where the coal goes. Okay. We have some experience with coal furnaces, don't we? This is apparently the area where you put the coal. It's still shut. We can't get it open. What about this? No? Nothing? It's a grill. Bright red. Okay. Can I do something with it? Ooh, didn't we say the oil probably helps make something slippery? Can we use that here? It's apparently the area where you put the coal. It's still shut. We can get it open. What about this one? Seems to be stuck. It won't open. No? Okay. Our grill ready to grill. Alright. Well, we don't have anything to grill, so... Wow, what a nice dish rack. I'd love to have that in my kitchen. But girl, you don't cook. Just for the looks? Why don't you take it back with you? Are you offering to carry it for me? Why don't you ask 7? You're kidding. You don't honestly think I'd let a beast like that into my home, do you? I mean, if you want this on your home, someone's gonna carry it for you. Anything else here? What about this? We've examined this. We've looked at this and they said nothing relevant, nothing interesting. Okay. We still have to use the knife somewhere, and they said somewhere soft, maybe. So maybe we go back to the cheeses and we use the knife there. Let's see. There's cheese on this shelf. Sweet. No? Okay. Here, that's where we grab the knife, and this had just rotten milk, I guess. Okay, right there. Yeah, I've tried the knife on all of the things here. I've tried the oil on all of the things here. Can we examine it further? The bottle's old, but we might be able to use the oil inside for something. Maybe we could put it on the old hag's face. Might help moisturize a little, get rid of some of those wrinkles. Dude, seriously, stop it. She's just fine. I would like to see you at that age. How about we put it on your face and then light it on fire? Yeah, get him. Anything else? Bottle of oil for cooking. We could probably use it to make stuff slippery too, though. So what can we make slippery on this place? Because I would have thought this is for opening the stock drawer, right? But apparently it isn't. Can we open it? Can we do something with the knife? This knife is nice and sharp again. I could probably cut something soft with it. So what soft things are there here? Because the cheese isn't giving me any dialogue. Did I have the knife on while I was examining the cheese? Let's try this again. Now that we know that we can make things slippery, though he did mention that in previous episodes, so I wouldn't think so. Dish rack. Let's see. This table looks really old-fashioned. Okay, we haven't examined this. I don't know if this is gonna do anything. Probably means this is an old boat. Yeah. Oh. We haven't looked at this one. I'm so stupid. This is what the oil is gonna be for, right? Like, I can already tell. It's gonna be rusty. It's not gonna slide open. We're gonna use the oil in it. But just for completion's sake, let's just examine it without the oil. It's a bolt, and it's really rusty. Will this even open? We won't know until we try. Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see if you're gonna come out. And no. So, that's where we use the oil. Not dice. Right? Let me examine the rest of the door first. Well, I can move the doorknob. Then I bet all we need to do is get this bolt off. A door. There's a bolt keeping us from opening it. Let's do it. This bolt is rusted in place. It won't budge. Of course, maybe if I put some oil on it. Hey, just a little bit of oil and... Come on, you little son of a bitch. Whoa. Ah, yes, got you, you little bastard. Oh my goodness, Junpei, that's some pent-up aggression there. I mean, I guess in this situation, you will be angry, and this is a good way to vent it, I guess. You're so smart. Yeah, we are. The freezer, huh? As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat.
It's cold in here.
Yeah, narrate a little bit for me because my voice is getting tired.
What is this place?
Are you blind? It's a freezer.
Ooh, I bet we're gonna grab like a hunk of meat or something. We're gonna put it on the grill to thaw it, and then we're gonna cut it with the knife, and something's gonna be inside. Maybe? I don't know. Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Yeah. And Lotus might be cold too. Oh, yeah, yeah, she is. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation.
Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me.
Yeah.
I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess June and myself are dressed more fittingly for this. I'm wearing like a flannel shirt and like a vest. It looks like a down vest or something. And she has a scarf on, so we'll be good for a couple of seconds. As Lotus left, June came in.
Oh, whoa. It's really cold in here.
Yeah, it is. White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. Like their breaths? Steam, huh? June had already started to
Hey,
slip.
you don't need to be in here.
Okay, if it's too cold for her, I can just explore this.
You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to go through temperature swings when you're not feeling well.
No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now.
But
Okay. Junpei has scarcely opened his mouth.
Huh?
Oh no. When the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison, then spun around to find that the door they had only recently come through was closed. Excuse me? Is it frozen? Hello? Oh, Santa's here too. Did Lotus get out? Junpei rushed to the
no!
door.
Why did it suddenly close?
The pipe burst open and it froze like immediately. Look at this. Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob
Ah!
and we used the knife to like pick the ice. It was cold, beyond cold. Merely touching it was
The
painful.
knob's frozen.
How cold is this room for this to happen in like a matter of seconds? Because I've seen videos of like people like in Alaska or whatever, like when it's really cold in winter, like they throw water on the air and it freezes solid like instantly. But this has to be like industrial grade for something like this to happen, wouldn't it?
But why?
They quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured. Yeah, look at it.
Looks like the pipe next to it broke, and
Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door.
Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door!
Right, so she's out. Is there anything she can do for us? I don't know. She wasted no time in responding.
What do you want? What's going on?
The door won't open! Try
Stuck.
opening it from that side, please!
Oh, fine. If you say so. Hold on.
Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. No? Then the grunting ceased, and they could hear light panting, as if from exertion.
It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out.
I mean, yeah, but we're in a bad situation. Come on, girl, open. I mean, don't open it because you can't, but help us. There's not much she's gonna be able to do either. It sucks.
Oh.
Okay, this is gonna be like a puzzle. And it's gonna be framed as, oh, you're in a time limit because your characters are cold and stuff, but really we have all the time in the world, so let's see.
God damn it.
Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies.
anyway,
not good.
Let's find a way out.
Yeah.
If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents.
Yeah, no, let's not be that.
Two heads are better than none.
Uh,
I'm sure we'll figure something out.
aren't you forgetting to count someone?
Yeah, you're right.
Isn't there 3 of us here?
Let's just take a good look around this room, okay?
Or maybe she's just saying the idiom. But there's 3 of us here.
Right.
They pushed in close to one another and began to search. Yeah, like, hug each other in this situation, honestly. Let's see. Let's look at this. What's this? Dry ice. Dry ice, huh? Dry ice? Did you make the stuff cause an explosion if you steal it in something that's airtight? Explode? Yeah, didn't you do that in school? You should never underestimate the power of expanding gas. Okay. I haven't done this. Like, we've done, like, well, this wasn't in school, I guess. You don't, you're probably not allowed to have dangerous stuff at school, but I've been to a laboratory. One of my mother's friends is a scientist, and she works at like a lab. And one time when we were little, she gave us like a tour of the area where she worked, and did the the typical the classic experiment with like liquid nitrogen and a rubber band. You put it in, and it just becomes so brittle. But yeah, I don't know if I know about dry ice. Let's see. Dry ice. We might be able to cause an explosion if we put it in something airtight and make it melt. Okay, so if it melts, it explodes. All right? Is it because of the I don't know, something about physics probably. I'll just take the word for it. Junpei picked up the dry ice with his sleeves so as to avoid burning himself.
Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right?
Yes, thank you for the explanation.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again.
Hell if I know. How is that gonna help us anyway?
Oh, well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here.
They were about to move on when June spoke up.
Carbon dioxide sublimation point is negative 109 degrees.
Fahrenheit? I'm gonna assume that working in Fahrenheit because if it's colder than that in here, we're dead.
Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid.
Junpei looked at her, dumbfounded.
Oh, how do you know that?
Okay, so she likes science too. She's not all about like the occult and stuff.
Despite my looks, I'm the oh, the queen of random knowledge.
The clean, the queen. Okay, you'll be good at playing trivia, I guess.
Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off.
It's because she's so cold.
Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb?
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my goodness.
You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you?
Is she? June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself.
Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird?
Yeah, come on. It's not time to flirt.
I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first.
Yeah, does it like so it sublimes like right out of the gate, like instantly? Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei. Um, it did seem rather odd. Yeah, I want out of the freezer now, but I want to know, like, um, because if it has to do with like the mechanics of how we're gonna get out of here, then I need to know. Yeah,
It is kind of weird.
June answered.
But it can turn into a liquid.
Yeah,
Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure.
okay.
At 1 atmosphere, normal air pressure.
It won't turn into a liquid, right?
Okay.
That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating and change immediately from a solid state to a gaseous one.
Yeah.
See, that is weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees.
Okay, this confirms that we're talking in Fahrenheit.
So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide?
I do wonder. Um, yeah, like of course pressure has to do with the liquid, like the states of the matter and stuff. But tell me, June. June replied with an answer that stunned both
There's a
of them.
kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees.
Huh?
I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees?
You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees?
Yeah, well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees.
So, is that what's on the pipes here? Is it not water? Water that freezes at 96 degrees? Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Junpei was cold as hell, but this was too interesting to ignore. He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and stamping his feet, then put the question to
So
June.
what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called?
I heard it's called Ice 9.
Okay.
Ice 9?
Keeping with the theme of the Nonary Games, I see.
Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author.
Okay, so is this like a real thing or is this for the purposes of the game? I don't know. I'm just gonna roll with it.
But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists.
Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9 or is it water?
Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify.
It's not water then? Is it like something else, right? Or like water with some special properties? Like for example, seawater also has a lower freezing point than like regular water. So that's why you can be at sea and it's like because of the salt, right?
So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O.
Okay. It should be H_2O, but okay.
Here. Think of it like diamonds and graphite.
Yeah, like they probably don't have like the font to do that. Yeah, like same stuff, but different like different arrangement of like the atoms and
They're
stuff.
both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different.
So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that?
Yup.
She wasn't
Have
finished.
you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin?
Uh-huh.
For 150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it. They did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin on its way to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Scientists around the world wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and asked for seeds. Oh, a seed is a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be easy. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, even the samples nearby did, even though they were tightly sealed.
Okay. Interesting.
And it didn't end there. After that day, it doesn't matter where in the world it is. All glycerin crystallizes naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees.
All right. Is this a fact?
Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like... how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating.
Telepathically, might you say?
Communicating in some way that we can't sense.
Huh.
And now it's happening everywhere.
Junpei was honestly impressed, was kind of annoyed. Um, See, I don't want to be mean to her. This is genuinely like fascinating. Like, I'm sure there's like a if this is real, because I don't know if it is. If this is real, I'm sure there is some sort of explanation that maybe we don't understand yet, and that generally impresses me. I don't want to say this. I'm impressed. I was honestly impressed. It was, in fact, a pretty interesting
Wow,
story.
that's pretty interesting. But, what does that have to do with Ice 9?
Yeah. To his surprise, it was Santa and not June who answered.
What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean.
Yeah, that something encourages like the same substance to do something it couldn't
A
before.
lot
huh?
like? Oh, that would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees, man.
It'd be the end of the world.
Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with the proper concern.
At any rate, we're not gonna have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick.
Okay. He was right. Junpei shivered.
Alright, guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far off topic. I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. So seriously, I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland.
Yeah. Also, isn't Santa? Well, Santa. The figure of Santa Claus has like many different possible origins. Saint Nicholas. Wasn't he from like Turkey or something originally? And then, as the myth changed and got adopted into different cultures and stuff, now we associate him with like the North Pole or Finland or other places, I guess. Anyway,
I freaking hate the cold.
see, I can help it. They are going on tangents. I'm going on tangents.
So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here.
Right. So I guess the main point is if we find like some way to make this dry ice sublime, will it explode? And then the story about Ice 9 and glycerin and stuff. That's probably more related to like the theme of the game, telepathy and some sort of communication happening on a plane that we can't see or understand or have access to. We'll see. Santa stomped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him.
Selfish, isn't he?
Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to the
Ice 9 is
search.
interesting and all, but we can discuss it more once we get out of this freezer.
Yeah. Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed his search of the room. Alright. Let's actually go back to the freezer because I don't think this is gonna be anything, just in case. Oh, there we go. We got something. I'm glad I did that. It's really hard. Sorry, that's June. It's really hard. It's frozen stiff. Hey June, can you say that again? Huh? Say it again. What? It's really hard. Junpei! Come on, my guy! Damn it. This route! Why is this happening? Why? This game wasn't like that before. It suddenly is because June is here. God damn it, Junpei. Again? It's really hard. Shut up! I'm gonna read this. Thanks. Something wrong, Junpei? Your face is bright red. Nothing, I'm fine. If it's that hard, you can probably use it as a hammer. Yeah, good point. Maybe we can use it to break something. Okay. I'm gonna ignore everything else. I'm gonna focus on the part about the hammer. Can we use this to break the ice? Jumpy, it's really hard. Do not. No. It's like a hammer. Maybe we can use this to crush something. Yeah, let's do that. Forget about everything else. What's this? This is just a freezer. Anything else here? Just some frozen meat up here. Looks like pork. Huh? What's this? Looks like a tag or something. A chunk of pork with a tag. This is what we have to grill, isn't it? Let's see. Jumpy, is there a slip of paper in that meat? I think there's something written on here, but I can't read it like this. If we try and pull it out, it'll probably rip. You need to defrost them. Don't think we're gonna be doing that in this room. Yeah, we'll take this outside. It's a chunk of pork with paper inside of it. Should be able to take it out once it's been defrosted. Yeah. Everything's frozen here. It doesn't look like there's anything else interesting. What about this? Oh, what do we have here? There's so much stuff in here. Why don't we take some of it out, Junpei? Yeah, this is a rope. Started rope. It's a rope. Well, we could use it to attach something to something else, I suppose. Okay. Started rope. Probably tie things together with this. Don't see how I can do it for now, but let's see. Let's keep looking. A storage area built into the floor, like a small cellar. There are a couple of bottles there. Okay, can I take those? Yeah, I can. Water bottle. A water bottle. Yes, it is. Was that everything? Sorry, I kind of skipped it. It's an empty water bottle. The neck is pretty small. I don't think I could fit anything very big in there. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? There isn't anything else that looks useful. Okay. Let's look at this. No good. I can't hit it hard enough to break it. Maybe it just needs more of a shock, you know? More of a shock. Like an explosion, yeah? What we were talking about? Hey, Junpei, didn't you find some dry ice earlier? Yeah? There's warm water coming out of that pipe. Oh, okay, so this is actually flowing. Alright, so, right, just like looking at the illustration, I thought it was frozen solid. Because in the first escape room, like the water was actually animated, so you can't blame me for this. Warm water and dry ice. What do you think will happen if we put that stuff in a sealed container together? Does the bottle count as a sealed container? There's water dripping from this pipe. It looks like when the pipe burst, the water hit the doorknob and froze it in place. This water actually seems almost warm. Okay. Can I do anything with it? What if... dry ice? There's warm water flowing through the pipe. Let's start off by putting dry ice into the water bottle. Oh, okay. I can just do that. But the dry ice is too big, yeah. Use the meat as a hammer. Break it down. Put it into the water bottle and then fill it up. Well, you gotta figure out a way to make it smaller then, don't you, genius? Yeah, got it. Let's combine this with this. Yeah, smash it. Alright, the dry ice is all in pieces now. Crumble. There we go. Wow, you crushed it up real good. You should be able to get it into anything you want now. Can't you make that stuff cause an explosion if you seal it in something that's airtight? Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna put these pieces of dry ice into the water bottle. Okay, water bottle with dry ice in it. So you put the dry ice in the bottle. Sorry, that's June. So you put the dry ice in the water bottle, Junpei? If it explodes, it could probably blast away the ice on the door. So how are we gonna get it to stay against the doorknob? The rope. And let's just tie a rope on there. Water bottle bomb. Look at this. Hey, why don't we use that rope to tie the bottle onto the doorknob? We just have to put some water in it, and then if we can give it a good whack with something, kaboom! It'll explode and break the ice off the door. Then what are we waiting for? I can't take this cold any longer. Yeah, let's do it. Warm water. We attach it. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door.
Put water into the bottle with dry ice.
Ooh, that's that's kind of dodgy.
And make sure the lid's closed. Now I just have to put this makeshift bomb on the doorknob.
How many? How much time do we have a bit before the chemical reaction happens? I don't want to be close to it.
Alright, that's set.
Okay, so then we just like take the pipe and we put it here.
So, what do we do now?
We just need to give it a little tap.
Yeah.
The bottle's already about to pop.
Okay.
If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll go off all on its own.
A small rock. Huh. A small rock.
Can I just throw like a chunk of meat or something? Junpei looked down at the floor. Oh, scattered across it with pieces of dry ice left over from the larger chunk he'd crushed earlier. Sure, let's use that.
All right, this ought to do the trick.
He pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned and grabbed the chunk of dry ice.
Ah, some dry ice, huh? Not a bad idea.
I mean, I hope it doesn't, like, cause an even bigger explosion, but let's do it, sure. It was a pretty good size, about as big as a pool ball.
All right, guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere.
Yeah, can we get into the hatch? Both Santa and June looked at him with new concern.
Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius?
Dude, let's go into the hatch.
There isn't
Come
really anywhere big enough.
on. Don't we fit in there? Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, there is. Look, right here. We can hide in there.
Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar. Yeah, there we go.
Come on, get inside, quick.
Santa and June nodded and jumped down into the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand, he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw.
All right, here I go. 3, 4, 5.
You're counting the wrong way.
Yeah?
Oh, oops.
What the? It doesn't matter, really. Just do it.
That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man.
Sorry, dude. All right, for real this time. You guys ready?
That did catch me off guard.
Yes, whenever you're ready.
God damn it.
Just throw the damn thing.
All right, here I go. 3, 2, 1.
Junpei threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could, and with the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June, just as kaboom. Junpei leapt up out of the cellar and ran to the door. There we go.
Junpei! The ice on the door! Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
The blast must have shattered it.
Yes. All right, let's see if it opens.
Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. The door gave way easily, and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once.
Hooray! We're out!
Yay! June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor.
Move!
Yeah. Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed. Grabbed? Excuse me?
Oh, god damn it! Hot, 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 hot! Fuck!
Yeah, don't touch it. Get close to it. He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of rage.
Well, you did just grab the grill. What did you think would happen? Hey, where's Lotus?
Yeah, where is she? It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest.
Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys.
Did you have a nice nap? With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off of the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her.
What were you doing?
Girl, were you taking a nap for
What
real?
do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting.
We were gonna die.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, it isn't like there was much she could do.
But you didn't. So everything worked out all right, didn't it?
What the hell?
Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried.
I believe that. But yeah, getting mad at her for not doing anything, it doesn't really look like there's anything that she could have done.
Oh, don't give me that crap.
I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If
Mhm.
you died, then I'd be stuck here, and I'd die too. See?
Yeah. So, is she saying she's only looking out for herself? At this point in the story, she's like playing her cards close to her chest, you know, like trying to be like the cold, aloof type.
I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door. But I couldn't find anything. So, all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops?
Yeah. It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth. Yeah, it's her whole attitude, the beginning of the game, that threw me off in my first playthrough and is throwing Junpei off. And I can't really say I blame her. Like, in this situation, you don't know what's going on. You don't know the people, what the people that you're trapped with. You don't know what the deal is. So it makes sense that she would be like this. But yeah, the same reason why she didn't click with me right away. But I have a much, I have. I have much more respect for her now, now that I've gotten to spend more time with her and stuff. It's just a matter of time, I guess. Yeah, let's go on.
Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you.
What's that?
You didn't close the door, did you?
Why would she? I mean, it's true that it closed on its own, but and she was the last one left, but oh. Oh no. She wouldn't have. No, no, she would be trapped here in the kitchen without the stuff in the freezer. So, right. Okay, what I'm thinking about is she's the one who's been thinking about the end goal the entire time. She's the one who's been thinking about, hey, the 9 door, only 5 people are going to be able to get out. We need to get rid of 3 people along the way. Still, it doesn't really make sense that she would do this unless she's counting on the other group to eventually come with her this way, right? Because I don't know if she knows, if she's been looking at the map and stuff, but she might have figured out that the way that they went and the way that we went eventually connect. So was she thinking, hey, it doesn't matter if these 3 get trapped here because everyone else is gonna come eventually and I'm just gonna be able to get with them? Oh man. Lotus, I don't want to doubt you, but
Wait, what? You think I closed the door on you?
if you did, that's kind of cool.
Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too.
Yeah, I guess so.
It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure. But, thinking about that stuff I said, there's a possibility that she realized that the map means we are not necessarily trapped here forever.
If she really wanted to kill us, all she had to do was bar the door from the outside. But she didn't. Well, she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
She's only lazy, or negligent at least, not an attempted murderer.
Yeah, because she also couldn't have known that the stuff with the pipe would happen as soon as the door closed. Like, that part, I believe, was an accident. Or, at the very least, planned by Zero in some way. Otherwise, the dry ice, why was it there, right? I don't think she did this on purpose. I don't think she was being malicious here. I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna trust her. Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Oh, yes, well that's all right. As long as you understand.
Okay. Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the grill complete, Santa swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus.
Hey, no more screwing around, you two. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while we were freezing to death.
Hey, come on now.
How rude! I was plenty busy.
Yeah. How about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go.
All right. Ooh. Yeah. Stuff's going on. Relationships are tense at this time. At this point in time, I should say. Okay, this episode is way too long as it is right now. But I didn't want to cut it off before because the stuff with the freezer, it all seemed like it fit in the same episode and stuff. I am, however, going to cut it off here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to continue supporting the channel and myself. I really appreciate stuff like that. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye for now.